Hey everyone, or I mean, I wouldn't say everyone. This is my first video on YouTube. Um, we don't count the past ones. The past ones aren't the real videos. More of a boredom thing from years ago. Whatever. This is my first YouTube video reviewing Until Dawn. The movie, not the game. The movie. Sadly, not the game. The game was leagues better. But I had the misfortune, I'll say, of watching this a few nights ago. I thought it wasn't really as bad as everyone is saying it is. Everyone's saying it's like the worst movie of the year, the worst video game adaptation of all time. It's not that bad. It's bad. It is bad. But it's not like god awful, you know? So for starters, I think that they should have just done the story from the game as the story for the movie. I don't really think that the way that they incorporated like some of the elements from the game really translated well into the movie. Like certain characters, like Rami Malek's character from the game. If you play the game, you know that he's like the psycho killer that wears like the mask, and he like hunts after the group at the cabin. Well, they have that masked killer in the movie, but obviously it's not played by Rami Malek, as none of the cast from the game comes to the movie aside from Hill. He's the only character that they bring from the game to the movie, and they make him the main antagonist, which I enjoyed. I liked having at least one character I knew from the game in the movie, because I feel like that kind of makes it seem more like the game that they're like making a movie on. You know, I think that's just makes more sense to have characters from the game. In general, though, I don't think that we needed a movie of Until Dawn when the game itself is like a movie in the first place. But I digress. Some positives I have for the film are very little. I think that the kills were actually really good, which was the only positive thing I've been hearing about it too. But I agree on it. Though I will say, well, the plot of the movie is this group of friends go to this remote location where one of the main characters, I think her name's Clover, had lost her sister. That's like the game itself too. That's kind of like the plot of it, but just not like the same characters. And then they find this visitor center that they then get trapped in, with an hourglass on the wall that flips over and starts going, and they encounter creatures, masked killers, who come after them trying to kill them, obviously. And every time that they die, they respawn. They get like, it's like a time loop almost. Like they wake up again. They have the memories of their past life, of where they were of like how they died and like what happened, but they get like a second chance, which I guess is kind of like it's kind of like the aspect from Until Dawn, where like you have like some different endings for when certain characters die, or you can like reload a save or something, and you can try to save that character rather than having them die. Though there's no actual like time loop mechanic in the game, so it doesn't really fit that. But whatever. Like I was saying, the kills I feel like are really good with the practical effects and just the gore. I was actually kind of surprised at what they did. But it kind of sucks because the only good kills were in the first night. There was some nasty kills in the first night, but the rest of the nights just kind of felt like, I don't know, like cheap, or like they almost like used all their budget up for the kills from the first night, and then the rest of the nights they kind of just went with like the cheap stuff, or the lazy kind of style of killing characters. That was my only positive. Oh, also I liked seeing a variation of, not a variation, a variety of creatures attacking them, because in the game you just have um the masked killer, who's not even a creature, just a guy, and then the Wendigos, obviously, which the Wendigos are also in this movie. A lot there's a lot more Wendigos in this movie than there are in the game, but it was cool to see them, though. The Wendigos from the game are so much cooler in their designs, in how they act, in how they hunt. So much better than the movie. So much better. Now for the negatives, and there's a good amount of negatives. So my main issue with it, and especially when you have a ensemble group of characters in like a horror movie, or just in any movie generally, but like this is mainly the case for horror movies, when you have a group of characters that you can't like attach yourself to, like you don't care about them, you don't care if they live or die. None of the characters from this movie I felt like connected with. I didn't care about a single one of them. They all just felt like cookie cutter horror movie characters that just existed just to die, and in reality I was looking forward into seeing how these characters were brutally murdered next. That was the best part about them, was just watching them die, seeing how nasty they got. And I don't know, I just did not like any of the characters, except for Hill. Hill was the character from the game, so I kind of appreciated seeing him. Obviously, I said that earlier, but he was the only one I liked. Characters also made very, very stupid decisions, which I'll give it like some leeway. It's a horror movie. It's the characters are always bound to make stupid decisions. But like, come on, it just kind of like makes the movie less impactful, less kind of like I don't know what the word is for, but like I just feel like it makes it worse when you have characters that are just stupid and don't make smart decisions. My final kind of like note or thought on this movie is something I mentioned at the start of the video, was like, why couldn't they just make the story from the game the story in the movie? It wouldn't really be that hard to incorporate, especially when you already have all the blueprints there from the game. You didn't even have to have the same characters from the game. You could have just made a new cast of characters like you did with the movie, but put them in that same setting of the snowy cabin on the mountain, being trapped for their lives, trying to find their sister and escape with their lives. And this point comes in especially hard and strong when you realize that there's a certain scene at the end of the movie that kind of makes this point so much stronger. Like, why couldn't they just make the story from the game the movie? There's no reasoning of why they couldn't do that. I feel that this movie was just pretty pointless, mindless kind of horror movie. I will not be watching it probably ever again, maybe unless intoxicated. But aside from that, I don't really recommend this movie. I mean, if you love horror movies, like I adore horror movies, so I'll see like the shittiest ones too. But I don't recommend this if you're a fan of the game. I would only recommend if you like cheesy bad horror movies with some pretty good kills. That's it. That's the only thing I can recommend about this movie. It doesn't even like it. I don't know. Like, I feel like it doesn't even expand on the lore of the game at all. Like, if you're gonna exist, give yourself a reason to exist from the main like game franchise. You know, like, is there a point of you being made? No, there's no point. There's no point for this movie like to be made. Soulless money grab. Just not good at all. We were on a pretty good roll of good video game adaptation movies like Sonic 3, Mario, and I hope that we kind of go up from where we are now, because while Minecraft was also pretty shitty, it was funny and it was fun. Until Dawn is nothing. It's a nothing burger of a movie, man. It's just nothing. Go watch like Sinners. Watch Sinners. That shit is amazing. Do not give your money to Until Dawn. Go see Sinners. So much better. Literally, it blows it out of the water like a nuclear fucking bomb. Go watch. That's really all I have for today for Until Dawn. I gave it a 2.5 stars out of 5 on my Letterboxd. I'll add the link to my Letterboxd too in my description for you guys like to follow if you want to see what I rate all my movies, how I review them, and I'll try to be posting more reviews like this onto YouTube for the movies I see. But other than that, thank you for watching, and if you want to subscribe, go ahead. I ain't gonna hold a gun to your head. I just like to talk about movies because I love them so much. And I wanted to kind of branch out of my comfort zone and do kind of like a recording of myself talking about these movies that I enjoy so much. I mean, I don't enjoy this one, but in general, I love movies so much, and I want to get my voice out on my thoughts on these movies. So, yeah, that's it for today. Bye.